Hi, hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Now, today, of course, for people who have crypto, you must be overjoyed, right? Because it seems like it's going up and up, right? And it has touched over 8,000 level now per Bitcoin, right? But of course, it has retraced a little bit, right? But anyway, what happens now? So, will it go to the moon? I don't know, but let's see what I want to say today, right? Let's get into it. So earlier today, Grayscale Digital, which is a fund that easily enables institutions and rich people to buy into crypto, they have actually released their latest report, which is Q1 2019. And so this is just fresh out of the oven. And what is interesting is there are some findings, right? Including, right? So you can see that their Q1 numbers is actually very, very good, right? And majority of their investments is again dominated by institutions, and mainly in this case is actually hedge funds, yeah. And you will see that total investments into Grayscale products in Q1 2019 is about 43 million, though the last 12 months combined is 266 million. So if you just take Q1 and times 4, right, it is still very low volume compared to the past 9 months combined. But what is interesting is the next paragraph, right, which is Q on Q, meaning Q1 2019, the first quarter of 2019 compared to the last quarter of 2018, right, where we have seen the lowest price of Bitcoin at 3,200, right, hitting at around December 2018, right? Now, right, this quarter is definitely so much more bullish compared to last quarter of 2018. And in that sense, it has reflected as well in the demand for crypto by institutional investors. And Grayscale experienced a 42% uptick in their product inflows. That means fund inflows, investment inflows into Grayscale, right, actually increased 42%. And that's very high, right? Quarter on quarter, from 30 million in Q4, which is last quarter of 2018, to 42.7 million in Q1 2019, yeah. And who is driving this increase is mainly hedge funds. So that means again it's the institutional investors. From less than 1 million they invested in 4Q 2018 to 24 million. That's 24 times increase just from this investor class alone, right? So this totally corroborated and support the survey done by Fidelity on their institutional investors, where 20% of their customers surveyed already have crypto, and a high percentage, it was 20 to 50% of them, plan to increase their crypto holdings over the next few years, right? And it seems like they are already pulling the trigger now. Now, this next chart is showing how does the investor profile change. Again, the highest group of investors into Grayscale is again institutional investors, because remember, Grayscale is a fund, right? So it is very easy for these rich people to buy, but of course their fees is high. It can be as high as 2%. So it's the convenience, right, that you don't have to really bother about your private keys and all that. But so the fees will of course it reduces your returns, but of course for institutional investors, they don't mind paying that for the convenience. But of course it does make a difference if you're individual investors. But what this report is very good in is telling you that, right, are the big money coming in or not, right? And so that you can see the total driver of total people driving the increase into Grayscale is also institutional investors, and as we have seen, they say is mainly driven by hedge funds. But very, very interestingly, that family offices have also increased their holdings, right, in Q1 this year versus the last 12 months, right, that you can see in this chart as well, from 2%, which is the trailing 12 months, versus 10% of their inflows is from family offices. Now, family offices is super wealthy family, right? Those uber rich families, right? And remember, I think it was just last month or in April where there's the first conference actually targeting high net worth families, right? This family offices, to teach them about cryptocurrency. So again, not surprised if because of that they have actually gone in. They have not. It's not just dipping their toes anymore. It's really they have increased their holdings. Yeah. So geographically, where is the increase coming from? So it is no longer US focused, it's actually from offshore, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is largely Asian focused as well, right? Now, what is interesting also is the performance of their funds. Now, this is the first quarter where they record the best performance since 2017. They actually, especially the Bitcoin focused funds, right? The Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, as you can see here, the dark green one, actually produces the highest return with the lowest risk, right? Of course, there are Litecoin and Horizon Trust, high returns but also much higher risk. So Bitcoin Trust, focus on Bitcoin, is 7.3% returns. This is 3 months returns, and the risk is 16.4%, right? So it's still better than other funds that they have, including their big cap ones, yeah? So as I've said, again, this chart clearly shows that so who are the investors buying? Most of the investors, they are going huge bet into almost 100% into Bitcoin, because if you can see in the chart, right, it clearly shows the dark color is actually Bitcoin, the light gray is actually non-Bitcoin. So any other altcoins, that's the light gray. And in Q1 2019, you're seeing the inflows, right, 99% is to Bitcoin, whereas the last 12 months alone, 76% to Bitcoin only. So definitely in this quarter, the institutional players are huge on Bitcoin. And why is there's no surprise? Because honestly, like Fidelity, even ICE, right, or BACS, when they open up, they said they are only going to focus on Bitcoin. So that just tells you as well, right, that the big players, right, the Wall Street players that are offering crypto products, they are only focusing on Bitcoin first. And that is why, right, no surprise that institutions, players are also just focusing on Bitcoin now. And that is again why Bitcoin is leading the market growth, right, in just the last 2 weeks, right? Yeah. So why Bitcoin, you might ask? And of course, now we are in May 2019. This is a clear reminder that 1 year later, we are going to see the halving effect. This is the third halving, where basically the rewards, right, for miners will be halved to 6.25 units of Bitcoin. So that basically makes it even harder. And that just remind people, right, that the rarity, that the scarcity of Bitcoin is even going to increase further. So that just, I think there is that effect of fear of missing out coming in again. That seems to be what's happening, but this time it's not just unsophisticated retail investors anymore feeling the FOMO or fear of missing out. It seems that, right, the hedge funds, the family offices are also feeling that now, and that, I believe, is also driving this increase in prices, because the volumes is actually pretty strong. Now, of course, the latest rumor also, right, today, in fact, is Consensus starting. Consensus is just a very huge conference involving the huge players in crypto. And this year, we have a few SEC players, including the, crypto mom, Hester Pierce, there as well to debate issues. And it has been leaked there, right, that people are speculating because they saw this kind of image, right, where it's basically advertisement. eBay is one of the sponsor, which is no surprise because a lot of the companies are big on blockchain, but they actually said virtual currency is happening on eBay. So that, and also they said reach 179 million active buyers in the world's largest marketplace. The fact that they use virtual currency and not blockchain, those words, right, indicate very strongly that eBay is looking to integrate crypto into their payment system. Now, no one knows though which crypto it is going to be, right? So, but regardless, if it is true, whichever one it is going to jump up huge in prices. But I think, right, it will be definitely the top 10. It will be only one of those. There's speculation that it could be Binance coin, right? Because they have been huge on partnership with merchant as well. But no one really knows, right? But I'm just saying these are the few reasons they are feeling it. Some people also say because of consensus happening, again, all the big players are also just very hyped up, right? Because they're learning more and more into this space. So the more you actually learn, the more normally you are more intrigued and you really feel like you are missing out. And I think that is what's happening. So now then, go back to the key question. Now that the market is over 8,000, right? So should I buy or not? I think that's the question that I'm asking myself too. But what I am doing, right, not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm just telling you what I plan to do is that I have actually some money parked aside, right? Though I do my balance sheet and my P&L, meaning my income and loss statement very, very frequently, once a month, right? So that I know how much liquidity I have at any one point, to see if I can park in more money into crypto. So, and I have been thinking about that, and currently I plan to park aside some funds, right? And and I'm just waiting for the moment when I decided to be brave enough to actually pump some money in, right? Yeah, it's not going to be one full Bitcoin, but I think I will actually want to increase some holdings into crypto itself, right? So that's what I'm doing. Not financial advice again. So that's how much I believe in the long-term fundamental, right? It's not just 1 year. I don't think it's 1 year. I believe, this is a 5-year, 10-year game where really I do expect some of the numbers, especially by Team Draper, play out. Those kind of numbers where he think is about 250,000 per unit of Bitcoin, right? After all, he correctly called the 2017 price of 10,000 per Bitcoin. Again, not financial advice. This is just, I'm telling you what Team Draper is actually publicly forecasting, and I don't just believe him blindly, and I have done enough research on my own to believe there are enough of that long-term potential, long-term reasons, right, driving this kind of upside, right? So again, not financial advice, so this is all I have to say. But also one thing I want to note, because now everyone is so hot into Bitcoin, right? You can see the Q1, everyone is just rushing into Bitcoin, but we know for sure that the major exchanges, including Fidelity, Nasdaq, and ICE, after a while of opening, right, they will, based on demand of clients, they will increase other top coins as well. But at this point, they are all just focused on Bitcoin. So I think it is wise at this point to also think about what other altcoins you can buy. And I only think about, again, the top 10 or max top 20 ones, right? So because currently the percentage increase of the other coins are still not as much as Bitcoin, and it's always Bitcoin, and given this kind of profile, right, and it's the institution leading it, so obviously Bitcoin, are going to be the first runner, right? But I believe this positive impact this positive sentiment will spill into other top coins as well. And that's why I think it is also worthwhile, if you are totally new into space, right, and you don't have any, I think it is also wise to start thinking about those, right? Again, if you ask me, and so is my own position is that I believe the top ones, like including Ethereum, XRP, Binance Coin, Litecoin, right, Cardano, EOS, are the ones where I think they are definitely more positive, and they have there is their own unique proposition as to. So I believe. And I believe in a world where, and that's also what Grayscale in their report say, they believe in a world where, not just a winner take all, there will be a few coins that will actually thrive together because they all offer a unique, different proposition, right? So that's what I think, again, so not financial advice, right? So do your own research, right? And so that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed this. Leave a like, subscribe, right? And I will speak to you tomorrow. Thank you so much for your time.